Hi guys,
Hello.
I'm here with Alip and we're going for adoration, but then we're just dropping by Ave Maria store to borrow certain statues because I remember when I was still in the Philippines and I did not know much about the Catholic faith. I didn't even know the stories of Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Lourdes. I don't know with Alip. Do you know already the stories?
Just some, especially Our Lady of Fatima, because of the pilgrim statue visits that were happening in the Philippines. There was common block rosaries in the Philippines, so I was a bit familiar with Our Lady of Fatima, but Our Lady of Lourdes not until I came here to Canada.
Me too. I just vaguely remember there was an apparition where there were 3 kids by the river, which turned out to be wrong because the apparition by a river was Our Lady of Lourdes. It was Saint Bernadette Subiru who was the visionary. They went to that place where Our Lady appeared, and the kids were passing through a river. So my vague image was really wrong because the 3 kids that I associated with the river was Our Lady of Fatima. So that's how vague my learning was about the stories and also the appearance of the statue. I was confused first. What you call that, Our Lady with a blue sash, the lady with 3 doves, yeah, that kind of thing. In Winnipeg, I started to learn about the faith, the apparitions, and the messages of Our Lady. So we will elaborate more on this when we have, we're now in the store Ave Maria, a religious store. We will just be borrowing the statues. Okay, let's go now to the store.
We're here in Ave Maria Gift Shop, so we'll be showing you momentarily the statues of Our Lady of Fatima and as well as Our Lady of Lourdes. Come on inside.
Silver, social distancing. We're practicing social distancing. This is the local Ave Maria Gift Shop.
Okay guys, so this is a sample of what Our Lady of Lourdes looks like. So just before I get into the history of Our Lady of Lourdes, so you know it's a statue of Our Lady of Lourdes if you know that Our Lady is dressed with a white veil with a blue girdle, a rosary. So for the rosary, to get into the details of the rosary, the Hail Mary beads were color silver, or they were light, and the Our Father beads were golden color. And also it's not depicted in this image or in this picture, but supposed to be what the visionary, her name is Bernadette Subiru, she said that in her testimony that on each foot of Our Lady were golden roses. So that is the depiction of Our Lady of Lourdes, and she was the one who said that she is the Immaculate Conception, or to be more specific, she said, I am the Immaculate Conception. So just a brief history of Our Lady of Lourdes. So she appeared to Bernadette Subiru, a young shepherd girl. So she's really sickly at that time. So Bernadette Subiru, I think she had asthma if I'm not mistaken, so she couldn't really tend to heavy workloads that she has to assist her parents and all that. So she is she's a shepherd, or a shepherdess, if we call her a shepherd girl. So on Feb 11, 1858, she was helping her sister to get firewood because they required firewood for their house. But because they had to cross the river, as what Sister Marfe said earlier, that there was a river by the apparition site of Masabiel, is what we call the apparition site, the Masabiel. Masabiel, by the way, is like a dump garbage site at the time in Lourdes. So so she had to stay in Masabiel while her sister and a friend of her sister had to cross the river to get the firewood. So while she was alone by herself, on Feb 11, 1858, Our Lady of Lourdes, or what call her as Our Lady of Lourdes, appeared to her. That's her first apparition, Feb 11, 1858. So that's where she met this lady, and she said that this lady was the most beautiful person that she ever met. However, nobody believed her at the first. Even her parents even wanted her to confess, but not only confess, but to tell a lie that she didn't see this lady. So Our Lady appeared to her, if not mistaken, 16 or 11 times from Feb 11 to July 16, I think, 1858. And this apparition of Our Lady is quite important because it followed few years after the declaration of the dogma of Immaculate Conception. So you might ask, why is this important? So, like what I said, this apparition of Our Lady of Lourdes is quite important as it follows the dogma, or it was a few years after the declaration the Catholic Church of the dogma Immaculate Conception. So you might say or ask, why is this apparition important? In this apparition, on the last apparition of Our Lady in July of 1858, she declared, or not declared, but she revealed herself as the Immaculate Conception. So with that said, we can say that Our Lady approved the dogma and that it's a fact and worthy of belief, of faith in our Catholic Church, to believe that Our Lady was in fact an Immaculate Conception, conceived without original sin, prepared by God to be the mother of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Guys, this is the statue of Our Lady of Fatima. Today is May 13, and this is the first day where Our Lady of Fatima appeared. She appeared monthly on the 13th of each month until October 13th. That was the last appearance, where she predicted that there will be a miracle that will be happening on that day, and people gathered there, around 75,000 of them, to witness the miracle, because one of the kids said that, show them, mother, a miracle so that they will believe. The visionaries here in the appearance of Our Lady of Fatima were Jacinta, Lucia, and Francisco. Lucia was the eldest. She lived to her full age. She spent the rest of her life in a convent. And Jacinta and Francisco died at a very young age. Now, so this is the Our Lady of Fatima.
So just to add on to what Sister Murphy said about Our Lady of Fatima, so as we know that in the statue here of Our Lady of Fatima, I'm just going to show you a bit of details. So based on what Sister Lucia de los Santos said about the apparition, so she's seen a lady dressed as brighter than the sun, hence why in the statue of Lady of Fatima she's always depicted as white, quite similar to Lourdes, but the only thing different is that there's no blue sash on her waistline area. Also, we noticed that Our Lady of Fatima, based on Sister Lucia's account, she saw her holding a really bright rosary. So here in the statue, of course, we see a rosary by the side of Our Lady here, but it's just depicted that we call her brownish color. And also that you also see this quite a detail here, this globe looking with a tassel at the end of the statue. So based on some research by priests and other theologians, they say that that's a sign and a symbol of Mary's triumph in the church, that at the end her Immaculate Heart will triumph. So some of you might ask, what are the three doves present in the statue of Our Lady of Fatima? So they are not the representations of the three children, but they were actually in fact historical event that happened, were the miracle of the three doves, where in the three doves there was a procession that was held for Our Lady of Fatima. The miracle of the three doves happened in the year 1946 to be exact. So it says here, based on the accounts of that time, so the three doves are present here. So the Patriarch of Lisbon, or the Archbishop of Lisbon at the time, would like to renew their consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. So in 1946, and especially to be exact, November 22 of 1946, the statue of Our Lady of Fatima, not this type of statue, but the one that we find in the Apparition Chapel, begin its pilgrimage, or its procession, a 90-mile journey from Fatima, Portugal to Lisbon, France. So where does this three doves appear? So during the procession on its way to Lisbon, three doves miraculously landed at at the carriage of Our Lady, or the carriage carrying the statue of Our Lady. So the people thought that they were just passing by, so they tried to shoo the doves away, but the doves won't budge a bit, so they stay there and accompanied Our Lady. These 3 doves accompanied Our Lady on its journey to Lisbon, France. And upon arriving at Lisbon, France, the doves didn't leave. During the mass, one of the mass of the Archbishop, one dove of the 3 went during consecration of the Holy Eucharist, or of the host. One of the doves went down at the foot of the altar and spread its wings, and as if in adoration of the real presence of our Lord in the Eucharist upon consecration. And after consecration, it went back to the carriage of Our Lady. At the end of all the ceremonies of this historical event of the renewal of the consecration of Lisbon, France to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the 3 doves then left. So hence why, since that historical event, most statues now of Our Lady of Fatima are depicted with 3 doves at the foot of her, or at the foot of the statue. Some people think that it's the 3 children, but we have to remember, or we have to, it's a historical event that happened, a miraculous event to be exact. The 3 doves happened during the consecration of Lisbon, France. So above here are the 3 visionaries of Our Lady of Fatima, namely Lucia del Santos, Francisco, and Jacinta. So Lucia here, or Lucia is what they call her, is the eldest of the 3, and Francisco is the second eldest, and Jacinta is the youngest. So during the apparition of Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady promised the 3 children that they would take that they would take them to heaven. The 2 youngest, namely Francisco and Jacinta, died at a very young age. I think Francisco was the first one to die, and then followed by Jacinta. But these 2 offered their life for the reparation of sins, because one of the apparitions of Our Lady, Our Lady showed them hell. And after that vision, the 3 children, all 3 of them offered their lives, their daily actions, in reparation for all the sins committed by mankind. So Francisco and Jacinta died at a very young age, and only Lucia del Santos lived to her old age, as what Our Lady of Fatima said, that she has to suffer more that she would suffer more rather for the sins of man, in reparation for the sins of man. So after her 2 cousins died, she entered a congregation of sisters, which I forgot really what the name of the congregation was, but so yeah, she entered into the congregation, and she lived around 90, and she died 15 years or so years ago. And she's not yet a saint. Only Francisco and Jacinta are declared saints, but Lucia del Santos is still in the title of servant of God. So these are the 3 children.
By the way, guys, to help our brothers and sisters be reminded of things for the spiritual needs, it's good to give gifts. Remember when we attend birthday parties and we have families who have birthdays or anniversaries, it is a problem what gifts to give. So it's good to think of these religious items, pictures. You can customize the gifts by engraving their names and your greetings. And they would likely keep those because they will keep those in their altar. I once gave a statue of Our Lady of Fatima to a debutante. She had a debut, and I gave her the Our Lady of Fatima statue with greetings personalized, and the mother told me that she placed it on her altar because that was her remembrance or souvenir for her debut. So they would likely keep your gift items, have them blessed, so they will have a blessed item in their possession. Okay guys, that's a short video about Our Lady of Fatima and Our Lady of Lourdes. Basically just pointing out the important things, especially the physical appearance.
See you guys.